Hello everyone, welcome to St. Joseph's tutorial English grammar session. This is Anthony, English teacher. Already we studied about active and passive voice. In this session we are going to see practice session. How to frame or how to convert active voice to passive voice. Before we move on to that, just we recall what is an active voice and what is passive voice. Active voice, we are talking about the subject, that is doer of an action. That means here we are giving more importance to the doer of an action than the action. In the passive voice, we are talking about or we are giving importance to the action than the subject. Last session we have discussed in detail about simple present, present continuous, present perfect, then simple past. In this session, we are going to see past continuous active and passive voice, then past perfect tense. We know the structure for past continuous tense. What will be the structure for past continuous or past progressive? First, we have to use subject, that is an agent, plus be form, past form, that is was or were, followed by V1 ing, then object. I have given first sentence as an example for past continuous active voice. Then when we want to convert this past continuous to passive form, we have to follow below structure, that is object plus was or were plus being plus V3, that is past participle, followed by the preposition, then the subject. That means the object of the active voice becomes the subject, then subject of the active voice becomes the object in the passive form. See here, a loaf of bread was being eaten by him. It is the answer for the first sentence. First we have to take the object, that is a loaf of bread, and since we are talking about singular, so we have to take was. Of course we cannot take is because we are talking about past continuous. Then plus being plus V3 plus by plus subject. Here the second sentence you see, I have taken only was, were is not that because loaf of bread is singular, so that I have taken only was is the example for past continuous. That means when we are finding the object of the active voice is singular, then we have to take the auxiliary be form, past form, that is singular alone. In the second sentence you see, we were plucking the flowers daily. Just you can apply the first structure, that is subject, of course I used, then were plus V1 ing, then object. It is the structure for active voice. Then how to convert this active to passive form? We have to take the object has to be used as subject in the passive form. So I have taken the flowers were because object is plural, so I am taking were plus being, then plucking becomes plucked, that is V3, pluck, plucked, plucked. So V3, that is past participle, followed by the preposition, that is by, then subjective pronoun we becomes has. So that is the structure, or that is the answer for the above sentence. Next we will move on to past continuous active and passive voice negative. How, if we are seeing the past continuous negative, how to convert that active to passive negative? That is what we are going to see in now. First sentence, she was not cleaning her room. So what will be the structure for past continuous negative? First we have to use subject plus verb not plus V1 ing plus object. First we have to use the subject, that is doer of an action, followed by be form, that is was or were, plus negative word, that is not, plus V1 ing, then object. It is the structure for past continuous or past progressive sentence. How to convert this one to passive form? Just we have to follow the next structure, that is object. Subject has to be used as an object. The object plus was plus were plus not plus being plus V3 followed by the preposition, then subject. That means the object of the active voice becomes the subject, then was or were plus being, so not plus being, then V3, that is past participle, followed by the preposition, that is by, then the subject. See here, her room was not being cleaned by her. It is the passive form for the above sentence. Here I used was not. Why can't we use were not? We are talking about singular, object is singular. So once you are seeing active voice, what are the things we have to notice? Then notice in the sense we have to identify the subject, then we have to identify which kinds of tense it is, then what is the object, whether the object is singular or plural. Second sentence, you can see the students were not asking productive questions. Here, what will be the object? That is productive question. Then what is the subject? That is students. Then what is the auxiliary? That is were not. Here, first we have to use the object as to be a subject in the passive form. So I take productive questions. Here questions, we are not talking about single question. We are talking about more than one, maybe two or three. So I have used here were, then followed by not, then being, then V3, that is asked, that is V3, followed by the preposition by, then the students. So it is the way that we can convert past continuous negative active to passive past continuous negative. Next one, we will see how to convert past continuous interrogative active to passive form. We know the structure for past continuous interrogative. First we have to use be form, that is was or were plus subject plus V1 ing, then the object. At the end we have to use question mark since we are talking about interrogative. Interrogative means question, so we have to use the question at the end of the sentence. So now you see that then were we plucking the flowers daily? So what we have to use, how to convert this one to passive form? First we have to use be form, then we have to take the object, then being, then V3 followed by the preposition, then the subjective pronoun becomes objective pronoun, then question mark. See here, were the flowers being plucked by us? What are the changes that we see here? Where is used, then flowers after that being, then plucked by us, that is we becomes us in the passive form. Second sentence, was a plumber repairing all the taps? It is an active voice. Structure is that subject plus object plus V1, then we have used the object, right? Then question mark. So what we have to use here? First we have to use the be form, that is was or were. Here we are talking about all the taps, that is a plural, so we have to take only were. We cannot take a tap. For example, if you are finding was a plumber repairing the tap, if it is singular, what we can use? Was the tap being repaired by a plumber. But here we are talking about all the taps, that is maybe 5 or 6 or 10, so I have taken were. In place of taps, if you find a tap, then we can use only was, but here it is plural, hence I have to take only were. Were all the taps being repaired by a plumber? So it is the answer for past continuous interrogative. So we need to identify here also the object. Object is singular, you can use was from the beginning in the passive form. If the object is plural, you can go and use were. Next one, past perfect active then passive. How to convert this active past perfect active voice positive to passive form positive? We all have learnt tenses and we know the structure for past continuous, past perfect. So what will be the structure? First subject, that is doer of an action or an agent, then had plus V3 plus object. It is a spelling typing error. B we should not use, only have form, that is had. So here subject had plus V3 plus object. They had owned a cricket kit. Let us apply this sentence to the structure. Yes, first I use the subject, that is they, pronoun subject pronoun, followed by had, then owned. B should not use V3, that is a typing error. So own, that is V3 plus object. It is an active voice. Then how to convert this to passive form? What will be the structure that we can follow? First we have to use the object, that is a cricket kit, plus had been, then V3, then followed by the preposition that is by, then the subject. Here also the same thing. What we have to do here? Object has to be used as a subject in the passive form, then had been, then past participle, that is V3, were or owned, plus with by, then the subject, that is they become them. Subjective pronoun becomes objective pronoun, that is them, they, them. Second sentence, here we need not to confuse about the object whether it is singular or plural. No need, whether it is singular or plural, whatever it may be, we can use it had without hesitation. Second sentence, their children had made a very pinching noise. What will be the structure for past perfect here? First the subject, then had plus V3, that is past participle. Then a very pinching noise is the object. So as per the rule, we have to use the object as the subject in the passive form. So a very pinching noise, then we are talking about perfect. So we have to use had been, then that is V3, made, make, made, made. So V3 we have to use, then followed by the preposition, that is by, then the children, or you can use them also, nothing is wrong in that. So this is what the examples for past perfect, active and passive positive sentence. In this slide, we are going to see past perfect, active and passive negative sentence. First sentence, they had not done heavy lunch. This is the active voice. What will be the structure for past perfect, active, negative? First we have to use subject, then had not, then V3, then object. When we want to make this sentence to passive form, we have to use the object as subject in the passive, followed by had not been plus past participle, that is V3. Then we have to use the preposition by, then we have to use subject. See here, heavy lunch had not been done by them. Here also we need not to bother about the object, whether it is singular or plural in number. Second sentence, we had not constructed our homeland. So we know the structure for past perfect. So here our homeland is an object. Make it a subject in the passive form, our homeland. Then had not been plus constructed, then followed by the preposition, that is by, then we becomes has, that is subjective pronoun. So this is the example for past perfect negative. Next we will move on to the interrogative. Here we see, when we are talking about the had past perfect interrogative, here also we will have structure that has to be followed clearly without error. So first we take had plus subject, V3, then object plus question mark. Since we are talking about interrogative, punctuation mark is also very important in English grammar. So had my mother washed the clothes, had is used, subject my mother, washed V3, the clothes is an object, at the end I use the question mark. Of course the structure is applicable for the above sentence. Next one, how to convert this one to passive form? Have to use had plus object plus been plus V3 followed by then the subject. Had the clothes been washed by my mother? Had is used, the clothes object next is used, then been, then V3 by subject, at the end I use the question also. Same way we can use it for the second sentence also. Had a plumber repaired all the taps? So need not bother about the object singular or plural, just identify the object, that's all here. Had all the taps been repaired by a plumber? So this is the example for interrogative. Now if you are finding any doubts regarding on what we have seen in today's session, just you can start to shoot your questions and clarify your hot spots now and then. It's a very easy topic. Already we have covered present tense and then past tense. Only one is left, that is future. That will be seen soon. So if you are finding any doubts, if you are unable to understand the concept, the rules and regulations what we have seen in today's session, just you can follow up my details and you can start to question me to clarify your hotspot. Just you can start to ask your doubts and clarify. So below these are the details where I will be available. So you can contact my number, that is 944-937-6695 WhatsApp. Then you can start to put your questions in my mail antovirat211993@gmail.com, antonymuthu578@gmail.com, and you can follow in Facebook Anthony Muthu V Antovirat, then Instagram Anthony Muthu V. And if you are finding any doubts, even you can directly start to post your comments in St.JOSEPH'S YouTube channel too. I hope, my dear viewers, you have learned 30% to 40% about past continuous, then past perfect, how to convert active to passive form. So it's a very important topic from the point of your examination, especially writing grammar session. They will be asking you 1 or 2 marks. Any tense will be asked. You have to be ready to answer correctly and try to get full marks in active and passive voice. So with this satisfaction, let me end of my session and I shall come to the next session shortly. Thank you all. Have a blessed day.